Hi everyone, my name is Janette and I'm a missionary from Love Gospel Assembly working among the Ashenica people group in Peru. I've been on the mission field for 8 years, but living among the Ashenica for the last 3 years in one of their villages. The theme this year is Women in Missions, and so I was asked to share about my experience as a woman on the mission field. And if I had to use one word to describe my experience or something that I regularly struggle with, I would say alone, or a sense of loneliness as a single woman. When I first came to the field, I lived in Pucallpa, which is a big city, and there are lots of single women there. But the reality is very different among the villagers. It's not unusual for teens, men and women, to be married and maybe even have their first child by the time they finish high school. And while there are some single parents, all of the women have had an experience being married and having children. The only single unmarried childless women are teen girls or elementary school children. So I remember the first year that I was on the field visiting a village in Brazil, and a woman came up to me and a group of other women after the service and asked us about our husbands and our children. And when we told her that we weren't married and that we didn't have children, she walked away from us. And we were all surprised, and the team leader explained to us that she didn't have a way to understand what it meant to be single and childless. And I find that that is very true among the villagers. It's like trying to explain snow to them. They've never experienced it, so they have no frame of reference for it. Another challenge was having a peer group or a support network. I often feel like I'm a single in a couple's world. And so, for example, when couples come to the mission field, they come with a built-in support network, their spouse, and they can share their struggles and their challenges together. But when you're single on the field, you leave your support network at home. And so when you come to the mission field, in addition to all of the other challenges, you have to create or build your own support network. And for me as an introvert, that was a challenge. Something else that I've noticed on the field is that with couples, there's a division of labors. And so the men usually take care of home construction things, and the women obviously take care of the laundry and the cooking and the taking care of the children. But when you're single on the field, you do both. You have to oversee the construction projects and the home repairs and the motorcycle repairs, and you have to do all of the house things plus all of the ministry things. And so just recently I changed my first light switch in my bedroom all by myself. Another challenge has been is that while some women may feel left out of ministry and ministry decisions because they're taking care of their first responsibility, their husband and their children, my experience has been that sometimes I feel like I have more responsibility because I'm a single woman and I don't have a husband and children to take care of, so that I carry a greater load than the other women on the team or on the field do. Sometimes I sense an expectation that because I'm a single woman and I don't have that responsibility, that I have more time on my hands and that I should be more flexible or accommodating to other people's schedules because of being a single woman. Another challenge has been is when ministry decisions are made, things that the men discuss and decide amongst themselves without my input, but it's still a decision that I'm expected to follow or abide by, even though I haven't been a part of the discussion or of the decision that was made. I've also noticed that in meetings, men speak for their households, and that the women often remain silent. And I don't have someone to speak for me or to represent my interests. And so when I speak for myself. And many times I feel keenly the absence of the voices of the other women, and I wish that they would speak, even if to express their own opinion, instead of hearing it through their husbands. Along those lines, another challenges is that if my opinion is different than everyone else's, then I don't have anyone to stand beside me or behind me to support me, to represent me or my interests. And so I admit that I wrestle sometimes with whether or not to speak in meetings or to stay silent, especially when I know that my opinion is going to be or is different than the rest of the team. So it makes it difficult and awkward and challenging and lonely sometimes in meetings to share my thoughts and my ideas. And so what am I learning from all of this? That every call comes with a cross, and there's the wonder and the joy of being called and used by God to accomplish His kingdom purposes among an unreached people group. But that call doesn't come without a cross, which is represented by all of the difficulties and challenges that I face or that anyone else faces in fulfilling the call that God has given them. And it's those difficulties and challenges that really provide an opportunity for us to renew our commitment to serve the Lord in the place and in the circumstances that He has placed us. God is sovereign in every call, and so He knew what I would be struggling with, what I would be challenged with as a single woman, the only single woman on my team, and still He placed me here. Sometimes limits, we respond to them by resisting them, challenging them, questioning them, testing them. And certainly there is a place and a time to do that, but not always. The limits that I face as a single woman, or the challenges that I face as a single woman, have brought me to the Lord in prayer over and over and over again, and God has met me over and over and over again. He's been faithful to speak to me, to encourage me, to give me grace and wisdom and patience and perspective in the struggles and in the challenges that I've faced. And another thing is that it has helped me to see that God can accomplish His eternal purposes and plans in spite of the limitations that we face. If you think of a chef, he needs ingredients to be able to prepare a particular dish. Carpenter needs his wood and his hammer and his nails and his measuring tape in order to be able to construct something, to build something. And an artist needs his canvas and his brushes and her paints to be able to create a work of art. But the Bible teaches us that God made the heavens and the earth and everything that is in them out of nothing. And so what would be a great handicap for us is not a handicap at all for God. And so often we want God to remove the limitations, the challenges, the obstacles that we face so that we can do more and accomplish more. But the greater glory for God is that He does what He does in spite of the limitations that we face. And so I'm learning to embrace these limitations that being a single woman on the field present for me, remembering that God only gives good gifts, and to let God use it. Let God do what He wants to do in spite of me being a single woman, to His glory and honor and praise. Thank you so much for asking, for listening, and for keeping me in your prayers.
Thank you for joining us in this week's Nuggets of Hope. We hope you continue to join us, and we hope that you are blessed by each teaching. You can join us on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. God bless you.